Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. Today, we are continuing our coverage of the ongoing civil war taking place inside of the former state of Ethiopia. And as we had talked about just about 48 hours ago, about the ongoing Oromo Liberation Army offensive that is taking place in Western Oromia and the Gambela region of Western Ethiopia. We do know now that the Oromo Liberation Army has taken over much of Western Oromia region. At this point, we are hearing reports that all command and control of Ethiopian National Defense Forces, aka Abiy loyalist formations, and its Oromo regional allies that are still loyal to the central government of Abiy Ahmed are really in disarray at this point. The reports on the ground indicate that the Oromo Liberation Army now controls much of Western Oromia, and there is really no governmental forces in Western Oromia at this point that are in a organized fashion currently resisting the OLA. It sounds like the Abiy loyalist formations in the Western Oromia region have collapsed, and at this point the Oromo Liberation Army controls much of Western Oromia and the West Welaga and Gambela regions of Western Ethiopia. Specifically, the areas which I'm referring to are mainly in the Oromo region, with the exception of this area locale is the Gambela region, which is kind of to the south west of what you would call the Oromia region. But right now, things do not appear to be going very well for Abiy loyalist forces as the Oromo Liberation Army continues this massive offensive operation in Western Oromia. Now, as we had talked about in other previous videos, as we monitor the ongoing war, we do know that a fairly unsuccessful counter-operation by Abiy loyalist forces was launched to the west of Addis Ababa and to the northwest of Addis Ababa as well, the capital, also known as Finfinne. It would appear that during this offensive operation, or this counter-offensive operation, which again was not very successful in terms of clearing out Oromo Liberation Army fighters closer to the capital, it would appear that during this time period, OLA decided to mass forces in Western Oromia and was preparing for and have launched this major operation, which has effectively destroyed the ENDF forces in the Western Oromia area of operation. Now the question is the Oromo Liberation Army going to consolidate its holds in Western Oromia and then proceed to move towards Addis Ababa, the capital, also known as Finfinne? Could we see a joint military operation with the Tigrayan Defense Forces in the north? Right now, there are those inside of the Tigray region that believe this would be an opportune moment for the Tigrayan Defense Forces to resume major offensive operations against the Abiy loyalist government, given the level of issues right now that the Abiy loyalist formations are having against the Oromo Liberation Army. And some believe that a major and new Tigrayan Defense Force offensive could really put government forces over the edge and cause a general collapse of the Ethiopian National Defense Forces, given recent success by the Oromo Liberation Army. Hard to say what's in the minds of the senior leadership of the Tigrayan Defense Forces. Obviously, there are currently negotiations underway, but those negotiations appear to be going fairly slow. The big issue is still the Anaconda strategy being utilized by both the Abiy loyalist army and its Amharan allies as well, in conjunction with the the despotic regime of Eritrea. So it's a really kind of a cost-benefit analysis. Is this the opportune moment while the government is back on its heels with the recent success of the Oromo Liberation Army in the West? And it's possible that given the situation on the ground in Western Oromia and even in Southern Oromia towards the Kenyan border, that we could see continued success by the Oromo Liberation Army, in which it forces the government to the Abiy loyalist government to come to the negotiating table and quite possibly look for terms of some sort. But the war continues. Again, we continue to cover this as this is the largest civil war taking place on the planet right now. Obviously, the former state of Ethiopia with more than 100 million people, and then obviously you have other nation states that are now involved in the ongoing war as well, such as the despotic regime of Eritrea. But watching this very, very closely, it would appear that the Oromo Liberation Army is having great success in the Western Oromia region with what now appears to be the complete eviction of ENDF Abiy loyalist forces in Western Oromia, specifically the West Welaga area of the country. We'll continue to watch this very, very closely and obviously bring you more news and information as we receive that information. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.